أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today our lesson is about seeking refuge and saying the Basmala. Basmala means Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This saying the words of the Holy Quran. This is the words of the Holy Quran. So saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This we can say saying the Basmala. In saying refuge, seeking refuge with Allah, that is saying another verse from the Holy Quran, that is A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. So it means I seek refuge in Allah from the Satan, the devil, the rejected one. So this is seeking refuge in Allah. The meaning of al-ista'adha is seeking for refuge or protection, asking for refuge or protection with Allah. When the reader says A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim, he is seeking protection and refuge with Allah from Satan, the devil, before starting to read. Allah in the Quran said in Surah An-Nahl, chapter An-Nahl, ayah number 98, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. And when you read the Quran, seek refuge with Allah from the rejected Satan. So this is the verse from Surah An-Nahl, verse number 98. If the reader is reciting silently or alone, he should seek refuge silently. If one is about to pray, seeking refuge is also done silently. If one is reading aloud and others are present, that will hear the recitation, and seeking refuge is done out loudly. If the reading is done by turns, that is in the classroom situation or sitting some people and reading in turns, the first reader seeks refuge out loud and the rest may do it silently when their turn comes. This doesn't mean that it is not allowed to read the seeking refuge if someone has already said it. No. When some people are reading the Holy Quran in turns, so all should seek refuge when they start reading. If the reading is cut off by coughing, sneezing, or by talking, referring to the reading or meaning of the verses, then there is no need for repeating the seeking of refuge. If the reading is cut off by work or normal conversation, worldly conversation, or by eating, then the seeking of refuge can be repeated before beginning to read the Quran again. He who says Basmala, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, has said the Basmala. The proper way to say Basmala is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It is necessary to read it before the beginning of every surah, every chapter from the Holy Quran, with the exception of At-Tawbah, or Surah, chapter At-Tawbah or Bara'ah. The reason for not saying the Basmalah at the beginning of this surah is generally agreed to be due to the surah's content, which orders the Muslims to fight the non-Muslims in some conditions, in some situations. When starting to read the Quran with this surah but not at the beginning of the surah, the reader then has the choice of saying the Basmalah or not, after seeking refuge with Allah from Satan. So, when we are reading the surah or chapter Bara'ah or chapter At-Tawbah, and we are starting reading from the middle of the surah, from any other verse of the surah, not the start. So it is conditioned that if we want to, we have the choice to saying the basmala, and seeking refuge is compulsory. Seeking refuge, we will seek refuge with Allah from the Satan, and after that, it is our choice uh, if we want to read the basmala or not. So, hope you understand all these things that are very important notes about starting reading the Holy Quran, any surah, any chapter, any verse from the Holy Quran, starting reading. So, it is compulsory to read the seeking refuge with Allah, that is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, and saying the basmala, that is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and the A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, its meanings is I seek refuge in Allah from the Satan, from the devil, the rejected one. And Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, this means I start with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Hope you understand all this. May Allah accept all our efforts to learn Quran, to read Quran more beautifully, by more proper pronunciation. May Allah be pleased with us by these efforts. Ameen. Jazakillahu khaira. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah.